I'm going to be honest with you. We're failing our customers. And our reviews, they speak for themselves. We are letting down way too many customers, and this needs to change, and it needs to change now. In this week's episode, I'm going to take you with me as I sit down with my team. We explore why we're in this situation, and we make the plan to make sure this never happens again.
Don't call us a comeback, no, cause we stayed on our course, gotta love that. True builders, put nothing above that. Now let me show you where the hustle at.
So we both acknowledge care needs to improve, but what will be good to do in this session is to have a think back across the last few years and let's reflect on how the hell we got here.
We've had it for the last 2-3 years, potentially more, where customers are saying to us, what's happened? You used to be this, you used to be that, you've gone massively downhill. If we look at Christmases in the past, some we've managed, some we've not managed. This year was more difficult because of the problems that we had with headphones. My thing is we need to be transparent with customers in all cases. So if we've got a problem with stock, if we've got a problem with moving facilities, if we have a problem in general that is a big problem, then let's feed that back to customers. If they know what's going on, they can think, all right, so it's not on my doorstep now, but it's coming and they've got it in hand. When we're just saying to customers 2 to 3 days, and we're saying 2 to 3 days on different occasions, we're not giving them any transparency and they're lost in the abyss of, am I going to get this? Is it going to turn up? Because seemingly they don't even see it there. And it's heart-wrenching having so many messages on a social media level from me and in my personal email saying, Claire, this is going on. Are you aware of it? These are our people. And I've always said, and you've always said, without these people, we don't exist. We don't have a community. We don't have a brand. We have nothing. And we can see sales dipping, potentially because of other markets, but personally I think it's because they don't get the experience from start to finish. They don't feel looked after. They don't feel cared about. They don't feel valued. So why are they going to come back?
I think we need to absolutely root and branch, go through all of those challenges, understand what the issues are, and then I think our job as a set of founders is we need to set the standard. I think because the company grew so quickly and because we do have production partners and teams that expand really quickly, we get really good at thinking about the processes to be able to do those things, but they're not interconnected very well. And people aren't thinking about the bigger picture. They're just thinking about their component, and that's my fault. And I think what we need to do is make sure that as a company and as a brand, we have a set of standards so that if you picked any employee from marketing to customer care to production, that they could articulate them to you. And the top one is customer first. We exist to create great products and great experiences for our customers. Because if we don't do that, we don't have anything. And if everybody says that, that means at least we've done our job of making sure that they're not thinking about hitting a sales target. They're not thinking about hitting a zero inbox. They're not thinking about just producing items. They're thinking about real human beings who are going to be receiving products that we've made with the intent of providing a good experience. If we can do that, I think we'll find some of these pain points disappear because people can take autonomy and think outside of the box for creative solutions to be able to provide those solutions to customers. So I get it. I think you're absolutely on the money. It needs to change. And when you're busy in business, it can be something that just gets left to the end. I think it got to a tipping point. Christmas was definitely a tipping point. And when you then take a step back, whether it's your personal experiences where people are reaching out to you, you're like, it's my brand, it's my baby, and I can't even help it, or I don't feel like I can help it. Imagine how helpless that customer feels. And then you look at the reviews and you're like, that's my paper, and this is what people are saying. I think we need to make sure this is a line in the sand moment. It's not just a moment where we start to say customer first and go back to the way things were. But yeah, to do that, I think we have to make sure we fully embrace all of the issues that our business has and start to address those, as well as making sure that as a set of founders, we set the standards so that everybody knows exactly what we're here to do, and that is to put the customer first.
Yeah. So I think a good plan would be to sit down with everybody, sort of from marketing to customer care, social media, find out what everybody else's take on where the problems could lie in care, because then we have a ladder in order to be able to formulate a plan to fix everything as a whole so that everything runs as smoothly as possible.
To kick off this session, just made a note, just do a round table. So we'll start with you, Claire, because we've got to get a take on where you think our customer care is at, being honest, and where you think we can improve. So just being really specific about areas that we can drill in on, because then we can look at, okay, what's creating those specific challenges and think about what the solutions are to those challenges.
One of the things that stands out in my head is obviously having these discussions and fighting against the likes of Team U, etc. Team U have better customer care than what we do, which says a lot considering they are such a vast company. Sort of, if you email them and say, my order's lost, 9 times out of 10, you get a pretty clear and concise answer straight away in terms of where the order is and how long it's going to be. I think a lot of our failings is busier times, such as Christmas, other holidays where we get a lot of orders. We tend to take them on and then can't facilitate them in that time frame for various different reasons, whether it be stock or things we're doing in the business, you know, in terms of moving offices. And I think transparency is key.
I definitely think the transparency is a huge issue, but then it obviously is case-to-case basis. And what I said to Marvin at this time, we also need to, we kind of touched about this, is just have more a human aspect. And that's the thing that and I know that my inbox is smaller. I know that I have less products. I know that it's a different thing, but I have a human-like connection to every customer that comes into my inbox. And I feel like we got into a rhythm that, and this was due to production times, issues, or whatever it may have been, that it became a robot that was setting out these responses just to, at one point I said to Marvin, is it just to get the inbox down? Yeah. Are we just trying to get it clear? Because that's not going to help us, because it's only going to duplicate the inbox from people's anger. And when I first started, Marvin always said to me, try and resolve the issue in one email. And that's something I've always stuck with. And I kind of going through the inbox during this crazy period, which is Christmas. Yes, that this is like shining a torch on a bad time. And things were not being resolved in one email.
Yeah. I guess I just fundamentally can't. But I'm really glad you said that, because that was my biggest sort of no on the other side was sort of empathy. I've not been in the inbox. We could do a deep dive now. I imagine a very strong percentage are template driven. So if we look at it, most emails are the same to customer, because most will be where's my order. Most are going to get a template that's saved, and they'll probably change their name and the order in there. All right. And so they more or less. And so the problem with that is it's not very human. And then I went to the reviews website. And so if you go to Trustpilot, you guys have a look this afternoon, just imagine if as a customer, we've got complaints and we do the same copy and paste template. And there it's really obvious, because like if you were looking to say, okay, well, they responded, that's good. Oh, it's the same response on every message. You're just like, well, they're just copying, pasting, or there's a robot that's doing that. It doesn't feel like customer care. And so there could be a point, and I think this is where you then make business decision. Do you not use templates? Do you come away from templates? Because if you're a customer and you're getting a template, does that provide you with a feeling of love from a brand, or does that make you feel like a number? And I think that's a fundamental decision we need to make, because there's a trade-off. The trade-off is time.
I think there is a hybrid approach there. For me, for my approach when I'm on the inbox, I mean, it's more the case of looking at like escalations or complaints, and I'm more led. Well, I'm always led to it's got to be a personal.
You are a lot, and this is not one thing, but you are a lot more personable.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why templates are useful, and I guess coming back to that, it gets the mailbox down. That's kind of the box that ticks.
And I guess the balance is the same, isn't it?
When I look at templates, for me, because I use them at times, I think it's trying to make that template as personable as you can. So it's not a name and an order number. It talks about the product that you order from us, your lead for each micro visuals. So I'll always put in copies of artwork, for example, and just try and make that as specific to our customer's order whilst using the template. So it does save me some time, but to the customer receiving it, it's not literally a block blanket text. So I think ultimately it's knowing when is the right time to use a template and how to adjust it to best fit that customer, because ultimately over to one email taken care of, it's got to be informative. So like when I talk about the mailbox, transparency is the most important thing, because it might take 5 emails to resolve it, as long as the customer feels like you can't help them all of the way through it and they're happy with it. At the moment, or historically, that transparency's not been there. It's been more so of a function of maybe buying a bit more time. We just need more time to get on top of those orders.
I think some customers as well, like we're in this world where, you know, when you order something, you kind of expect it in a few days. Obviously, we're not in the out world.
Price.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic, but it does put a big spotlight on companies like ours, where unfortunately we're not the, you know, you ordered on a Monday, you're going to get it on Thursday kind of thing. There, you know, but it is a lot longer now. You know, you've got your 5 days and you've got, 3 days for delivery. So just over a week, and it could feel like a month, you know, when you're in this quick pace ordering world now. But I think it does give us an opportunity, though, to actually provide the customer quite a nice experience in terms of when a customer orders, they'll get the notification, you know, straight away. And then as the product goes through those different departments, whether it's, right, it's just been printed, now it's going to go and get finalized, now it's going to go get dispatched. I kind of feel that we have to work in the fact that it does take a bit longer, but we can use those pings, because you scanning it through, there's an opportunity to build something there just to keep the customer informed. Like, we've not forgotten you, we've still got your order, it is now at this point. Now it's at this point, now it's at this point. And then at least that 1 week wait doesn't feel like I just ordered something, I think they've forgotten about me. You've got those little communication bits. I know that doesn't kind of fix the items going out later, but when I'm looking at ads and things like that, and sometimes I'll get, I don't know where my order is, and then I'll look and like, oh, it's not even at dispatch date. And it just made me feel like, but in your mind, you're like, hang on, I ordered like a year ago, where is it? It's like, oh, it was just a few days.
So I think that's a brilliant idea from Jen, because that adds again to the experience for the customer. So when you order from abroad, so fast fashion websites from abroad, it will tell you when it's left their country. It will tell you when it's landed in your country. It will tell you when it's on its way to courier, and it'll tell you it's arrived at courier. So you can kind of watch its progress. So yes, it might take sometimes 3 weeks if something's coming from China, but you get the text messages and then your email updates. So again, it adds to the experience, because I'm not being forgotten, it's on an aeroplane, and our experience is better than the experience I'm talking about. 'Cause we're like, when we're looking at it from foreign countries, we're following its flight, it's cleared customs, it's boring. Whereas ours is, it's not, it's in production.
Yeah.
It's, so people know something's physically being made and it adds to the experience.
Yesterday, we sat down and did our customer care review, and we agreed 3 action points that we're going to put in place right now to turn our care around. 1, we're setting a standard across all our teams and specifically across customer care. Customers come first. Second, no more templates. When customers contact us, we're going to make sure that there's a human response every time. And third, we're going to be meeting with our suppliers to make sure they deliver on time, every time. And because of the great work that the suppliers do, we're also going to take you with us so you can see how those conversations shape out and the processes that we put in place, but also the innovation that they do to help us make great personalised products. So let's get back on the road again. Okay, so we've just come back from the supplier and it's cool to see that they can now print perfectly images onto fabric.
Yes.
So it'd be cool to get a flavour for what we're proposing to put forward on the website so customers can upload photos and create some cool gifts.
Yeah. So obviously we've got our character personalisation, but this should help to bring kind of like the next level in personalisation, what we can offer to customers. So the first one to show you is the photo upload towel. So with this one full photo can be uploaded onto your towel. We've developed the tech that sits behind this, so it'll check to make sure the quality of the photo which is uploaded is going to be fine, so you're not going to get that, that pixelation. And then the actual print of it, I'm really impressed with how vibrant the colours have been picked up from them
really
photos. So these ones, I can see them working across, like Mother's Day, if you want to get your favourite photo of mum and little in onto the towel, families, that kind of thing as well. And because it's so simple to do, I think this might be one of the best sellers.
Cool. So what's going on here?
So flip from normal to a little bit more fun. So hen parties, stag parties, even, like the milestone birthdays, the 40th, this towel, I think it's going to be completely striking.
Tiff's going to love this.
She is. So this one obviously is your full photo. This one is the face upload towel. So it's all about taking the face of any photo that you upload and then putting it in an arrangement where you get this really cool, striking patterned effect across your entire towel.
So that just repeats the face that you've uploaded.
Yeah, so you don't have to upload just your face. The technology that sits behind it identifies this is the person's face, cuts it out and then displays it into a pattern.
Okay, cool. And so this one, I guess, is similar in that it's detecting the face.
Yeah.
So it's bringing that in and then it's in positioning it on a
Exactly,
design.
yeah. So because we've got the technology for detecting the face, now we've brought it over into where could you put your face. So these ones are in iconic poster designs or film designs, that kind of thing, where you want to be a cameo within it. And then this one has got to be my all-time favourite, really leaning into, do you know the old school
Yes.
seaside cutouts.
Like traditional seaside postcards.
Yeah,
or-
exactly. So we've got a selection of these designs that were under development as well, where it could just be you, your friend, or if you're going on like a girls' trip and you want to have all of you in there, then you can as well.
And so with these, is it going to map the skin tone to the face that you upload so it matches?
So what we've got is a selection of colours that you can choose from. So once you've uploaded your face, or well, your photo, you then get to choose what skin tone you want, so
Fantastic.
that you've got that diversity there. But these ones, because they are the classic cutout, cartoonized kind of character, it's meant to look as if you put your face through that kind of postcard. But with these ones where it's a bit more realistic, you can then map it.
Fine.
To
So on
whatever
these ones,
colour.
you get the optionality of the skin tone. On these ones, it is very much like when you're at the seaside.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll do variations. that we
Yeah,
cover.
yeah. It'd be
Brilliant.
great to get the customers' feedback, to be honest, when we do launch these, just so that, they're involved too. And if they want to have that ability to change colours or outfits or whatnot, then they've got that.
Yeah, I think that's going to do really, really well. It
Yeah.
just has that vibe to it.
I think
and
the nostalgia behind it is just so, so strong as well.
Cool. Excited to see him launch.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this week's episode. And to take you back to the beginning, this is all about improving the way that we put customers first. That starts with reviews, that starts with customer care. And so going through this episode, we've definitely set out 3 strategic points. They're making sure we always put the customer first and making sure we set that standard right across our business. Second is making sure from a customer care perspective specifically, no more templates. We want to be human with our customers because we are human beings, we're not robots. And our responses have to reflect that. And that will only help with the relationship and with resolutions. And third, we need to make sure customer experience is at the heart of everything, that we're delivering on time every time, that we're developing some of the best personalized products around. And I think we're definitely getting on the pulse of that. And over the next few months, you will hopefully see through the series and through our website, some really cool, innovative products launch. That's going to make us the home of personalization. So thanks for tuning in. Lots to do as always. If you've liked this episode, don't forget, please subscribe, give us a like, hit the notification bell, and finally, give us some comments. If you're a customer and you've had an experience, good, bad, ugly, we want to read it. We want to learn, we want to improve. So please do drop some comments down below. And that's it for this week.
Yeah.
We'll
all
see you
done.
on the next one.
Don't call us a comeback, no. Cause we stayed on our course, gotta love that. True builders, put nothing above that. Now let me show you where the hustle at.